Welcome back if you're just tuning in, you're watching us, Annie and Zamil. And yes, we have just watched a video from Jason Mraz singing I Won't Give Up, which I think is very apt lah, because this is how an intern should be.
I won't give up.
In the PR industry.
I won't give up. I know the PR industry is ruthless, or rather that's what we hear it is. So let's talk to the people in the studios to find out how ruthless it can be for an intern.
But they are not ruthless.
No, they're not. They're really nice people. Very nice people. Don't get me wrong. Okay, let's welcome Mr. Felix Heinemann from Group Managing Director of Essence Communications, and of course next to Felix, the lovely Eliza Abdul Rahim, PR Director of Essence Communications as well. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Ignore the ruthless part, please.
Eliza or Eliza?
Eliza.
Eliza.
I just, modified it.
Britishified.
Britishified it.
If she gets ruthless, it's called Eliza, right?
Eliza.
Right. So tell us about the current situation or current scenario of PR agencies here in Malaysia.
Well, very much. The industry looks for talents, needs the talent. And one of the key things that employers have been saying in the past is we're not getting the quality. But it's changing.
Okay.
One of the key things is having more opportunities for interns to get the experience before they actually go out into the working world.
Okay.
That's why internships are extremely important in the industry.
All right. When you look into an intern, what is the criteria? I think a lot of people would, again, if these are the youngsters watching, their first question is, what's the criteria for an intern to walk into a PR agency? I mean, when we talk about internship in every industry, they've got various criteria. But there is that one or two very major criteria for an intern when you walk into any industry. What would that be for the PR industry?
I think you have to differentiate between the academics and the social skills. Public relation is something similar you're doing. It's people-to-people business.
That's right.
So the criteria is the social skills. I mean, you can be as bright and smart as an academics. If you can't talk, don't go to PR. So one of the very important part is that people who we are taking for interns have a certain kind of exposure in terms of their personality. So they have to be curious, they have to be hungry, and what normally is not allowed at the educational level, to ask questions. So they have to be curious and ask questions all the time. So that's one of the very important part of an intern.
So to be an intern or maybe or someone who does really well in PR, do they have to be book smart or street smart?
Oh, definitely street smart.
Street smart? Yeah.
Definitely street smart.
So too,
You know, having that can-do spirit.
Yeah.
You know, Felix mentioned the importance of being curious, being hungry. You know, these are all the soft skills that aren't being taught. And you get it by actually being in the field and practicing. And that's one of the key things that's different about interns who come into our organization. We take them and give them face time with the real situation. We don't just park them in the back room and tell them to do research.
Or give them loads of paper and say, yes, hit the paperwork now. Well,
Yeah.
when we talk about interns, again, I'm going back to what you mentioned earlier, that you're not getting that quality intern right now. Are we again saying that the youngsters, the graduates who are coming out way before they hit the job market, is it also again initiative that's lacking, or is it because of the education that's been given? Is there something in the colleges or the universities
lack
that
of exposure, perhaps?
I think we have to be careful to say the quality is not. Yes, of course, not everybody has the quality, but you look at the market. It's a developing market, right? So it becomes a sophisticated industry actually in Malaysia. Malaysia is not at the beginning, it's really on the way up, and public relation becomes important. So what you're looking for is, you look for those interns who really have the oomph, because the competition takes up. So what we don't get in our industry is senior, let's say junior manager or senior executives with 2, 3, 4 years experience. So you do have to take fresh graduates and build them up. But we want then we will only want to take the best one. So there's actually a competition for them, and that's what they have to be aware of. If they come for an interview, they should be prepared, and to be prepared means for us social skills.
Right. So gift of the gab is very important. That's true.
It's not so much the gift of the gab, it's making the connection, being able to look your interviewer in the eye and present the concept, sell
yourself.
Yeah, literally market yourself and market your company.
Exactly.
Can we just find out a little bit about interns' job scope? If for Essence Marketing, for instance, Essence Communications, what are the job scopes that you give for an intern? What do you get them to do?
We get them facing the client fairly quickly. We get them at the front line at media registrations. We get them at research level. We bring them to meetings so that they get the idea of how the real PR work gets done.
Right.
We take them into brainstorm so that they get the exposure how ideas are generated.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's very broad.
The thing is, there are some interns, and then please correct me if I'm wrong. There are some interns who are very good in terms of people skills. They're very good
soft skills.
Very good in soft skills, and you literally get taken in by them, and they can sell. They can sell anything.
You can see their potential, right?
But there are the ones who are better on paper in terms of media releases and articles, writing instead of the people skills. So do you differentiate this?
No, I mean you need both. I mean, very important is when you talk a bit about public relation. You have to convince either your boss or a client that you understand his or her business.
Right.
So research plays a very crucial role in our business. Yeah. I mean, actually, I would say half of the work is research to really understand the business. If you work for palm oil, we have to understand the palm oil business. Sure. If you work for healthcare, we have to understand the regulators, etc., etc. So you do need, of course, people who have a kind of more written skills and more research skills, right? So more process thinking people. You need those people. Otherwise, the business can't work. So you need both sides.
Right. Aside from interns who are fresh graduates, have you come across people who've already worked in another field? For instance, being as an accountant or banker or something like that. But in the end, they actually want to become someone who works in the PR industry.
They don't see a match there, but they see a match here.
Yeah. Well, we have a person at director level who came in from the architectural industry.
Wow.
Wow.
So
Okay.
he's a trained architect.
He became an intern?
Well, not so much becoming an intern, but he chose to have a career switch and then came to us. So it's a very brave step to move that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Felix or Eliza, maybe you can just highlight to the viewers out there and the ones who are watching, if it is a graduate coming out, and he or she wants to go into the PR industry, what should they look out for? What are the things that they should look out for in terms of the job, as well as if they actually want to go and intern somewhere?
Okay. From my side, I would say forget the glam and the glamour. There is glamour
well,
sometimes.
there is, but not as much.
We just had we had the launch of a beautiful luxury brand watch. That's glamour. But generally speaking, you have to understand that it's actually a very powerful job. We do a lot of serious stuff too, foreign direct investment, government-linked companies, regulator, deregulation, privatization of semi-government companies, etc., etc. So there's a lot of really serious stuff.
And a lot of interaction as well.
A lot of interaction. But what it means is it's a powerful job because you actually assist and sometimes guide powerful people what they say to a broader audience.
Right.
So it becomes a high responsibility job. And public relations was very much underrated in the country for many years. The industry mourned about it, but it has changed because Malaysia moves from a clearly manufacturing society into knowledge society. We're already there, and the servicing part, the branding part becomes so important. So public relation or marketing per se is for the next 5 to 10 years one of the key to differentiate yourself from others. So it is actually a very powerful industry.
Well, there are a lot of PR agencies mushrooming out there. I mean, every Tom, Dick and Harry seems to start a PR agency. I'm sorry, the moment they get about 5 years experience, they go and start a home-based business.
Some TV presenters opening a PR agency.
We've never tried that, but we should actually. We'd probably be really good PR people.
But we should join Essence first.
But when you have that, and you have a big established company such as this, would there be a compromise in terms of the quality, do you think?
You can't compromise on quality. You basically can gain more knowledge, but you have to stay open and curious. You have to be knowledge hungry and always willing to grow, because in the PR industry, the situation fluctuates every day. You're evolving every day. And one of the key things when you're growing campaigns and things like that, you really have to understand your client's operating environment. So it's a very, very brainy and at the same time extremely communicative industry.
You have to always be on your toes, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Sometimes, yeah. What are, okay, just for the benefit of the viewers, what are the working hours like for a person who
So
works in
don't
a
want to ask
PR
that.
agency? I mean, you
24
know,
hours, 7
You
times
don't
2.
want-
I would think that you would say that because it's I mean, it's sort of like never ending. Well, not just never ending, but it's unpredictable hours as well, right? I mean, it can be really at nighttime, daytime,
Well,
weekends even.
Well,
Yes, to a certain extent. But we're smart enough to have shifts going around.
If you have that much of manpower.
Yeah.
Yes.
no, but I think it's important to say, I mean, we are a locally grown agency. We are affiliated to Börs Mostella, locally grown, I think. We are affiliated to Börs Mostella and within a global consortium. But I always believe in one thing, that working 16, 18 hours doesn't bring anything, because what we're doing at the end of the day is we're creating something out of concepts. But you do have, of course, situations, a lot of, if you work for consumer public relation, media events, they're happening in the evening, for example. So you do have sometimes working hours which are different. And also, depending on clients, you do have sometimes weekend work. So somebody has to be ready to have working hours which are not 8 to 5. But we are very kind people. We have always this so-called replacement leave.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, you're so you know, it's so called. I like that word.
Yeah, and it's not EL, it's RL.
Yeah, exactly. That was bad public relation, actually.
All right. Well, there you go. Felix, thank you so much. Eliza, thank you so much. There you go. These are people from Essence Communications.
And are you looking for interns at the moment?
Just
Yes, we
at
are.
all times?
Yes, we do.
All the time.
Can TV hosts apply?
Can,
We will welcome you.
but they
at
have to
our
work extra hard.
there you go. You've got it.
That's it.
All right. So if you are looking at maybe your children or for yourself, for instance,
If you want to take a career dive, you know,
this would probably be an area you want to look into. But again, as they mentioned, you need to have that charisma, the curiosity has to be there,
hunger.
the hunger,
the passion as well.
ruthless hunger, and the passion as well.
Yep.
So
Thank you once again.
thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining
Thank
us. All right, so there you go, Malaysia. We're going to be taking a quick break, but before that, after that, we're coming in to talk about again another similar story, which is on being a team player.
Working well in a team with Murshida Said, who is our resident motivator, just after this break, so don't go away.
I'll see you in a bit.